day, my dear grade 4 learners. Welcome to our ETULAY online tutorial on TV. I am Tutor Wella from San Lorenzo Ruiz Elementary School, SDO Pasig, together with
Tutor Joby from SDO Pasig, San Lorenzo Ruiz Elementary School. Isang matgandang araw sa ating online learners. Muli, narito kami para sa isang namang kabuluhang pag-aaral sa matematika. Kami ang inyong mga tutor. Yes? So, ano nga ba ang ating pag-aaralan ngayong araw? So grade 4, Math 4, Quarter 2, Week 2, Module 2. Ang topic natin ay greatest common factor. So, Tutor Wella, balikan natin ang ating nakaraang aralin.
Okay, Tutor Joby, remember me. Let us review first some of the concepts that can help you understand the greatest common factor. Let us start. Write each as a product of two whole numbers. Number 1, 32. What are the two whole numbers that you can write to get a product of 32? If your answer is 1 times 32, 2 times 16, and 8 times 4, magaling mga bata, tama ang inyong sagot. For number 2, we have 48. Kapag ang sagot nyo ay 1 times 48, 2 times 24, 4 times 12, 6 times 8, and 3 times 16. Mahusay mga bata, tama ang inyong sagot. For number 3, write each as a product of two whole numbers. We have there 70. Learners, what are the two whole numbers that you can write? If you write 1 times 70, 2 times 35, 5 times 14, magaling mga bata. Tama ang inyong sagot. Let's go now to number 4. We have there 63. Okay, start writing the two whole numbers that you can multiply to get the product of 63. Okay, kapag ang inyong sagot ay 1 times 63, 3 times 21, and 7 times 9. Perfect mga bata. Tama kayo. Let's move on for number 5. Ang number natin ay 78. Okay, what are the two whole numbers that you can multiply to get the product of 78? Kapag ang sagot nyo ay 1 times 78, 2 times 39, 6 times 13, and 3 times 26, okay mga bata, tama ang inyong mga sagot. Next, Tutor Jovi, let's move on to the next lesson.
Yes, pupunta na tayo sa ating aralin ngayong araw. Okay, the complete flower. Nakakita na ba kayo ng ganitong bulaklak? Ang bulaklak ng gumamela? Bakit nga ba tinawag na complete flower? Alam ko, Tutor Wella, alam na alam mo bakit tinawag ang gumamela na complete flower. I-share mo nga sa amin.
Okay, Tutor Joby, bakit nga ba complete flower ang gumamela? It's because all 4 floral organs are present sa gumamela. Meron siyang sepals, petals, pistils, and stamen. Kaya complete flower siya.
Ayan, kaya pala sa lesson nila sa science, yan ang pinag-aaralan kapag about flowers. Kasi complete siya. Yan, ngayon alam na natin. So para mas malaman natin kung ano nga ba ang complete flower na ito at alamin natin ang story problem. So basahin natin. Nancy has 8 red and 12 pink gumamela flowers that will be given to her teachers. She will put them in vases with equal number of red and pink flowers. What is the greatest possible number of vases will she use? Okay, so tingnan natin sino ang may flower dito na may dalang flower. Yes, si Nancy. So, si Nancy ay may dalang flower para kanino? Tama, para sa kanyang mga guro. So now for us to understand the problem, we have to look at the following questions. Okay, so what is us in the problem? Kung ang sagot nyo ay the greatest number of vases that Nancy will use, very good, tama kayo. And what are the given facts? The given facts are 8 red gumamela flowers and 12 pink gumamela flowers. Ang galing nila. And what can you say about Nancy? What kind of person is she? Katulad ba ninyo si Nancy? Nung face-to-face pa, dinadalhan nyo ba ng flowers ang inyong mga teachers? Yes, siyempre, meron sa inyo, di ba learners? So, si Nancy is grateful to have her teachers. And Nancy is thoughtful. Very good. So ang katulad ni Nancy ay isang thoughtful na bata. So pagpatuloy natin, pag-aralan natin, how can she get the answer? So what do you think? How will she find the greatest number of vases? Ano kaya ang paraan niya? Yes, tama. How to find it? We have to find the GCF. And what is GCF? GCF means greatest common factor. Is the biggest factor of number common to the given numbers. So ano-ano nga ba yung paraan para makuha natin ang greatest common factor? Yes, to determine the GCF, meron po tayong tatlong method. First is listing method. Number 2, we have prime factorization. And the last one is continuous division. So aalamin natin isa-isa ang mga method na ito para lalo nating maintindihan ang pagkuha ng GCF sa given numbers. Okay, so unahin muna natin ang listing method. Okay, so what are we going to do? List the factors of 8 and 12. So look at the table. Factors of 8 and factors of 12. So what are the factors of 8? We have there 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. So what are the factors of 12? We have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. So we have to write down now. Ililista na natin yung mga factors na ito. So the factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. And how about 12? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now, alam na natin ang mga factors ng 8 and 12. So look at it. Di ba may mga common factors? What are the common factors? We have there 1, another 2, and the last one is 4. So in the factors of 8 and 12, there are 3 common factors. These common factors are 1, 2, and 4. So just look at the common factors. Ang kukunin natin dyan ay greatest common factor. By looking at those numbers, alin dyan sa tatlong yan ang greatest o pinakamalaki? Obviously, the GCF is 4. Correct. So, meron tayong GCF na 4. The factors of 8 and 12, the greatest factor is 4. Very good. So, ayan, ganyan lang kadali ang listing method. Hindi pa nagtatapos dyan. Alamin pa natin ang prime factorization o tinatawag na factor 3 at continuous division. Ito naman ay ibibigay sa atin ni Tutor Wella. So, go on, Tutor Wella.
Thank you, Tutor Joby. Let us solve the problem using the prime factorization. But first, Take a look at this. When a composite number is written as a product of all its prime factors, we have the prime factorization. And we use the factor tree to determine the prime factors. Okay, so take a look at the prime factors of 8 and 12. So for 8, we have 2 times 4, and then we have therefore 4, 2 times 2. Okay, so 2 times 2 times 2 are the prime factorization of 8. Okay, for 12, we have there 2 times 6, and then for 6, we have there 2 times 3. So 2 times 2 times 3 is the prime factorization of 12. So, list down the prime factors of 8 and 12. So, 8 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2, and 12 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, let's find out the common factor, prime factors of 8 and 12 to get the GCF. So we have there 2, and then another one is 2. So we have to multiply 2 times 2 equals to 4. Therefore, the GCF of 8 and 12 is 4. Okay, next method. For continuous division, we're going to follow the steps. Write the given numbers horizontally and find a prime number that will divide all the given numbers without remainder if possible. So for 8 and 12, we're going to divide it by 2. So 8 divided by 2, that is 4. And 12 divided by 2, that is 6. Okay. Next, 4 divided by 2 and 6 divided by 2, we will continue the process until all the quotients have no more common prime divisor. So we are going to divide 4 and 6 by 2 again. So 4 divided by 2 equals to 2, and 6 divided by 2, that is 3. So take a look at the prime factors. Okay, we have there 2 times 2 equals to 4. That is for step 4. You're going to multiply all the prime divisors common to the given numbers to get the GCF. And that common divisor is 2. So we have to multiply it. 2 times 2 equals to 4. So the GCF or the greatest common factor is 4. Okay, let's move on to Jovi. Oh, therefore, 4 is the greatest possible number of bases that Nancy can use. Okay, so Tutor Jovi, let's continue.
Yes. So, nalaman na natin yung different methods to apply in getting the GCF. So, again, we have listing method, prime factorization, and the third one is continuous division. Okay. So, i-apply natin isa-isa sa bawat activity na ating gagawin. So, let's proceed. Activity 1. So, find the greatest common factor by completing the needed data. So these are example of listing method. So nailist na natin yan. We will just find the missing number. So we are going to find the factors of 6 and 12. So we have there 1 blank, 3 and 6. What do you think is the missing number, children? Yes, kung ang sagot nyo ay 2, tama ang inyong sagot. How about number 12? What are the factors? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, blank, and 12. Yan, ano nga ba yung nawawalang factor ng 12? At kung ito ang inyong sagot, very good. 6 ang nawawala. So, ang sagot nyo ay 6. Ang galing. So, as you can see there, it was listed there, the common factors we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. So meron tayong apat na common factors for 6 and 12. And the greatest common factor? Very good, 6 ang tama. At alam ko nakuha ninyo yan. Very good. So let's proceed to number 2. What are our numbers? We have 9 and 12. And what are the missing factors of 9 and 12? So 1, blank, and 9. Ano kaya ang missing factors, children? Yan, naiisip nyo ba ang naiisip ko? Tama! It is 3. Ang gagaling talaga ng ating mga learners. Very good. Okay, how about 12? So we have there 1, 2, 3, 4, blank, and 12. Parang may nawawala nga. At ano ito? Yes, kung ang sagot nyo ay 6, you got it correctly. At ang mga common dyan, look at the listed numbers na common factors ng 9 and 12. Nakikita nyo ba ang nakikita ko? Yes, at ang common factors natin ay 1 and 3. And which of 1 and 3 ang pinakamataas? Siyempre, ang 3. Yan, nakukuha na nila kung paano gamitin ang listing method. Okay, number 3. We have there 10 and 15. So, ano yung nawawalang factors ng 10 at ng 15? Okay, we have 1, 2, 5, and blank. So, children, ano ang nawawalang factor ng 10? Sige nga, tama ba ang nasa isip ninyo? Kung ito ang sagot nyo, tama kayo. Ang galing talaga. Okay, number 15 naman. What are the factors? We have 1, 3, blank, and 15. What is the missing factors of 15? Yes, the missing factor is 5. Very good. So, kapag listing method kasi nakikita mo na yan dyan kung ano yung mga common factors. At ang ating common factors ay, yes, correct, 1 and 5. So, ano ang ating GCF ngayon kung ang common factors natin ay 1 at 5? Tama, it is 5. Yan, ang gagaling talaga ng ating mga learners. So, this is how to use listing method in getting or in finding the GCF. Okay, so let's proceed to activity 2. Tutor Wella, go!
Okay, for activity 2, find the greatest common factor or GCF of each pair of numbers using prime factorization or factor tree method. Okay, for number 1, 12 and 20. What are the missing numbers? So we have there 2 and blank. Kapag ang sagot nyo ay 6, tama ang inyong sagot. And then you have therefore 6, 2 times 3. And for 20, 10 times 2. Kapag 2 ang inyong sagot, you got it right. For 10, that is 2 times 5. Okay, take a look at the prime factors. So we have there 2 times 3 times 2, and we have there 2 times 2. Okay, times 5. Okay. So, let's find out the GCF. Kapag ang sagot nyo ay 4, amazing. Very good learners. For number 2, 10 and 30. Okay. So, you have there, kapag ang sagot nyo dyan ay 2 times 5. Very good. And for 30, you have there 3 times 10. And for 10, you have there 2 times 5. Wow, ang galing-galing. And what is the GCF for 10 and 30? As you can see there, kitang-kita nyo na. Okay, children. So the answer is 10. Wow, ang galing-galing nyo talaga. Okay. For activity 2, Tutor Joby. Activity 3 na tayo, Tutor Joby. Okay.
Yes, activity 3 na. So ano nga ba ang meron sa activity 3? Okay, so find the greatest common factor of each pair of numbers using continuous division. So dito sa continuous division, ito talaga yung itinuturo ko na the best na pagkuha dahil napakadali. Okay? So, by looking at number 1, we have our factors. We have 21 and 28. Ano yung kanyang prime divisor? The prime divisor there is 7. And the quotient is 3 and 4. So by looking at our prime divisor, iisa lang yung divisor natin, makukuha mo agad ang GCF. So obviously, the GCF for 21 and 28 children, nakuha nyo ba? Yes, 7 ang tamang sagot. Kuhang-kuha na nila agad ang sagot. So napakabilis, di po ba? So number 2 naman, we are looking for the GCF of 21 and 35. Sige nga children, ano nga ba ang GCF ng 21 and 35? Alam nyo na ba? Nakikita nyo ba yung nakikita ko rin dyan? Sa continuous division na yan? Nakikita nyo na? Kung nakita nyo at naintindihan nyo, alam kong ang magiging sagot nyo ay 7. 7 pa rin. So 21 and 35, the common factors or the greatest common factor is 7. Yan, ang gagaling. Number 3. So number 3, we are looking for the prime factors or the greatest common factor of 12 and 24. Okay. So, look at the prime divisor. Kapag sa continuous division, just look at the prime divisor, then multiply it to get the greatest common factor. Sige nga, i-multiply nyo nga yung mga prime divisor natin. Iyan lang nasa kaliwa ng mga numbers natin ha, hindi yung nasa kanan, kundi nasa kaliwa. At ano nga ba ang product ng prime divisors natin? Tignan nga natin kung pareho tayo ng sagot. Very good. That is 12. Ang gagaling talaga, Tutorella, ng ating mga learners. Naintindihan na nila. Ngayon naman, Tutorella, alam na nila ang tatlong methods. Ngayon, i-apply nilang lahat sa ating activity 4. So, they are free to use what method they want to apply. Okay, so activity 4, Tutorella, ano nga ba ang gagawin?
For activity 4, find the greatest common factor or GCF of the given pair of numbers using any of the 3 methods discussed earlier. Okay, for number 1, 8 and 16. If, children, your answer is GCF of 8 and 16 is 8. Okay, very good. For number 2, 9 and 18. If you write there, GCF of 9 and 18, 9, tama ang inyong sagot. For number 3, we have there 12 and 16. Kapag ang sinulat nyong GCF ay 4, tama. Ang galing-galing naman mga bata. Number 4, 14 and 35. Kapag ang sinulat nyong GCF sa 14 and 35 ay 7, oh, big check yan. Oh, tingnan nga natin kung 7 nga ang GCF ng 14 and 35. Okay, very good learners. Next, Tutor Jovi.
Yes, may susunod pa tayong lesson, Tutorella, kasi ang module 2 ay meron tayong 2 lesson na nakapaloob dito. 2 lessons, tama. At itong susunod na lesson natin ay may kaugnayan din sa unang lesson natin. Okay, ano nga ba ang ating sunod na lesson? Okay, so this is answering word problem involving getting or finding the GCF. So, tingnan natin, emergency kits. Importante ba ang emergency kits, Tutorella, sa ating bahay sa panahon ngayon?
Yes, of course, Tutor Joby. Sana magkaroon tayo lahat ng mga household merong emergency kits talaga. Ah,
Yes. Lalo na ngayon, hindi natin alam ang panahon talaga. So, meron dapat tayong tinatawag na emergency kits or go bag. Okay. So, pagtuunan natin ng pansin ang ating story problem. So, let's read. Okay? So, Mrs. Santos is preparing emergency kits to be given to each class in grade 4. She has 30 bottles of water and 20 canned foods which she can like to distribute equally among the kids with no items left. What is the greatest number of kids can she make? Okay. So in this problem, masasagot natin siya by following the steps. Okay? So, kung natatandaan nyo yung mga lesson natin nung first quarter, may kaugnayan din dito. Yung mga steps to be followed in answering word problem. So balikan natin. Ano nga ba ang steps na ating dapat susundin sa pagsagot ng word problem? So okay. So step 1, understand. Okay. So para maintindihan natin yung problem, we have to answer the question, what is asked in the problem and what are the given facts? Okay. So in our problem, what is us in the problem? Yes, the greatest number of kits that Mrs. Santos can make. Okay, and what are the given facts? So ito yung mga data na nakikita natin mismo sa ating story problem. So we have there 30 bottles of water and 20 cans of food. Okay, or ito yung 20 canned goods na tinatawag. Okay? So let's proceed. Step 2. Ang step 2 naman natin ay plan. You have to plan. How will you solve the problem? So paano nga ba natin isosolve ang ating problem? Yes, by finding the GCF or the greatest common factor. So tapos na tayo sa step 1. Nasagutan na natin yung understand, yung mga tanong doon na what is asked and what are given. So, nasa step 2 na tayo, nasagot na natin yung how will you solve the problem. So, the process na dapat nating gamitin. So, ang process na gagamitin natin dito ay by finding the GCF. Okay, so ready na tayo for step 3. So, we are done with step 1 and 2. So, move na tayo sa step 3, which is solve. So, how is the solution done? So, napag-aralan natin sa lesson 1 natin in this module that there are 3 methods in answering or in finding the GCF. Okay, ulitin natin, listing method ang nauna nating gagamitin dito sa problem na to. So, listing method. So, we are going to list the factors of 30 and 20. So, the factors of 30, we have 1, 3, 5, 6, 10, and 30. How about 20? We have there 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. So, you can see there that merong mga common factors. At ang pipiliin mo lang dyan sa common factor na yan ay yung pinakamataas, the greatest common factors. At obviously, the greatest common factor is 10. Okay, so 30 and 20, the GCF is 10. So ipakita ulit natin yung factor 3 or prime factorization. Okay, so 30, we have 3 times 10 and 2 times 5. How about 20? We have there 2 times 10 and 2 times 5. Okay, the factors are, or the prime factors, we have 2 times 3 times 5 for number 30. At sa number 20 naman, we have there 2 times 2 times 5. At ang common natin, ano yung common natin dyan? We have 2 and 5. So yung common factor na prime natin dyan, the common prime factor, para mas malinaw, ay i-multiply natin. So if we multiply 2 times 5 is 10. And that is the greatest common factor. Okay? And the last one, ano nga ba yung ating pangatlong methods? Okay? So we have, or step 4, we have check and look back. Okay. So check and look back, nakuha mo na, nakita mo na yung tamang sagot. So what is the answer to the problem? Balikan mo siya. So the greatest number of kids is 10. So therefore, 10 is the greatest possible number of kits that Mrs. Santos can make. Ayan, di ba? Ang bilis lang. Basta you have to follow the 4 steps. Ano yung una natin? Step 1 is understand. Ano yung step 2, Tutor Wella? Ang
Step
step,
2, you have to plan.
very good. Step 3,
You have to
solve.
solve.
Yes. And the last step is check and look back. I know kayang-kaya na nilang magsagot ulit, Tutor Wella, ng problem solving. Just remember to follow the 4 steps in answering word problem. Okay, so let's proceed to assessment 1, Tutor Wella.
Okay, let's take up problem number 1. Alan has 18 blue balls and 27 red balls. He wants to group them of the same size. Each group must have the same number of blue and red balls. What is the greatest number of groups that he can form? Okay, to answer this problem, we have 3 questions there. What is asked in the problem? What facts are given? And how will you solve the problem? For letter A, what is your answer, children? If your answer is the greatest number of groups of balls that he can form, you got it right, children. What facts are given if you have there 18 blue balls and 27 red balls? Amazing, children. You got it right. How will you solve the problem? Okay, if you say you're going to find the GCF, okay, children, correct ang inyong sagot. But how are we going to solve the problem? Show your solution. Okay. For your solution, kapag ito ang isinulat ninyo, tama ang inyong sagot. Okay, for 18, you have there 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. And for 27, you have there 1, 3, 9, and 27. And the GCF is 9. Okay ang sagot ninyo, mga bata. So, what is the answer to the problem now? So, 9 groups of balls. So, Alan can form 9 groups of balls. Okay. So, children, maraming salamat at ang gagaling ninyong sumagot. For number 2, Tutor Jovi?
Yes, Tutor Wella. So, dito sa ating solution, Tutor Wella, any of the 3 methods lalabas ay the same. Ang GCF pa rin ay 9. Okay, so wag mag-worry bakit ginamit lang natin dito ay listing method. Pwede rin po siya ng prime factorization at continuous division and you will come up with the same answer and the GCF is still 9. Okay, so let's proceed to the last problem. At ang ating last problem ay Troy is packing candies and chocolates for his birthday party. He has 42 candies and 70 chocolates. He wants to pack them with the same number of candies and chocolates. What is the greatest number of packs that he can make? Okay, so alamin natin. Ito yung mga questions doon sa steps natin kanina. So what is us in the problem? Ano nga ba ang sagot sa ating problem? Ang tinatanong sa ating problem. So, if your answer is the greatest number of packs that he can make, and that is correct. Okay, so what are the given facts? So just look at the problem. You can see numbers there. The given facts are 42 candies and 70 chocolates. Ayan, very good kayo. How will you solve the problem? Paano nga ba isolve ang problem na ito? So, if your answer is find the GCF, you are right. Ang galing talaga. Okay, so hindi pa tapos. So, we have to proceed sa solve. Yung step 3 natin, solve. So, show your solution. Again, in finding the GCF, any of the 3 methods can be used. Okay. So sige nga, ano nga ba ang pwede ninyong gamitin? Alin ba doon ang mas sanay kayong gamitin, mas mabilis nyong gamitin, at mas bihasa kayo doong method na gagamitin? Pwede po. Lalabas pa rin ang tamang sagot. Okay. So kung ang sagot nyo ay nakikita nyo yung mga factors natin sa 42 and 70. We have there 1 for 42. We have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21, and 42. Number 70, we have there 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, 14, 35, and 70. So obviously, the greatest common factor is 14. So 14 now ang ating nakuhang greatest common factor for 70 and 42. Okay, what is the answer to the problem? So Troy can make 14 packs. Ayan, 14 packs.
Okay. Thank you, dear Grade 4 Matalino learners from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao for sharing your time with us. Okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our Facebook pages and our YouTube channels. Once again, I'm Tutor Wella with Tutor Joby saying God bless and goodbye. Bye.